CTWE wrestler The Mac.
And I'm Showtime Stevie Stamos.
Have you ever dreamed of owning your own race car and taking it out for a test drive? Well, thanks to our friends at Rent a Race Car, you can!
Visit www.rentaracecarne.com for all the details on how you can take one of these babies out to Stafford Motor Speedway. We'll see you at the races.
Touchdown!
Oh, my. Did you miss us, ladies and gentlemen? Because we sure as heck missed you. For the very first time here in the year 2021, welcome back to Vidane TV. Monday, January 4th, we're going to fire that secretary for giving you guys the wrong date on your screen right there. We're here for the ChaLew Performance 60 at Charlotte Motor Speedway. Paul Strickland Jr. here doing the buttons, pushing all the stuff, and, correcting the date here that you see on the screen, because now it's January 4th. Not the first time we've done this, but may very well be the last. Here for the NEPS iRacing Group, the New England, Pennsylvania iRacing Series, again for the ChaLew Performance 60. As always, Showtime Paul Strickland Jr. in the production booth, but right next door, upstairs in the commentary booth, we've got the legend himself, Tim Terry, and the other guy, Rowdy Wesley Hogue. Well, Rowdy, how we doing tonight here?
I was wondering what nickname you were going to give me, so I waited. He got legend, I got the other guy. I guess I'll take it. Paul, it is a beautiful night here at the Charlotte Motor Speedway as we're seeing the NEPS guys finish up some practice laps here, getting it rocking and rolling. I am here with legendary Tim Terry. Tim, you ready to call some action here at Charlotte?
Yeah, when he said legendary, I thought he was referring to you, but I'll take it, I guess. Yeah, Charlotte, this is a big week for the NEPS Grand National Series presented by Shift Marketing and Design. We'll go here, then we'll load up the virtual haulers and head north to Oxford Plains later on this week. So 2 races, big championship swing potentially here if these races go one way or the other.
Yeah, I think the legendary might fall for me if we're talking about super speedway racing. Other than that, I haven't reached legendary status on the microphone just quite yet, like the legendary Tim Terry. Now, Tim, it's been a while since we've been here in the booth. How was your Christmas? How was your New Year's?
New Year's was great, Christmas was great, and now getting ready to see some racing. It's 2021, and these guys, it wouldn't be 2021 without kicking it off with the NEPS series that has been with us for a while now, and the familiar names that are here. So I'm excited. How was your holiday?
It's been a while since I got to call a race with Wyatt Alexander in it, so I'm excited to see that. You were talking about some familiar names. Zane Farrell, he's always one to watch here at this series, especially at these mile and a half. It's going to be fun to watch him, as well as many, many more. So we're going to get ready here to kick it off to the qualifying session. These drivers are going to have a couple laps to set up our grid here, and then after that we will have our 60 lap feature. So some names that actually no, I apologize, I guess they're going right over qualifying, so this is a random draw here, Tim.
They actually completed qualifying already, Wes. We're getting ready to go racing, and 2 familiar names on the front row battling for a championship this season. John Peters, Ryan Libby, your front row. And I know Paul wanted to get in here, I think, before we go racing. Paul, Ryan Libby, last minute in qualifying, put down that lap 4 thousandths of a second slower than John Peters. So I think we're getting ready to see another barn burner.
Absolutely. These guys always put on one heck of a show, and it's great to kick off the year right with the NEPS group. These guys, no matter where they race, what they're driving, what track they're at, always put on a fantastic show. But speaking of fantastic shows, man, we've got some headlining news here at Vidane TV that hits harder than LJ Grimm. We got the announcement today. We got on the phone. We just got off the phone. Rent a Race Car co-owner, co-founder Gary Spinato Jr. After they announced that Stafford Motor Speedway on June 12th is going to be the very first ever SRX Series race is going to be at Stafford Motor Speedway Saturday, June 12th. Big news. We got you one bigger. The night before that, the very night before that, Friday night, June 11th, is going to be Vidane Racing Championship night. That's going to be the night that the last year's champion, Jarrett Bolliard, and this year's champion, still to be determined, will be racing at Stafford Motor Speedway in the Street Stock Series division. That night, the night before the SRX race, you can bet we're going to be camping out with the Rent-A-Race Car guys, going to be camping out with a lot of the Stafford regulars, and we wanted to make that announcement here with NEPS because we know we got a lot of fans up here in the Northeast, both iRacing, sim racing, and real racing. So we want to make sure that you guys are around at Stafford Motor Speedway. Tim, Wes, I hope you guys can make it out here. I know it's a long distance travel day for you, but that's going to be a heck of a weekend to have the Vidane Racing Championship night that Friday night with, we're going to do the belt ceremony, all that good stuff, and we're going to probably hang out Saturday night as well after the SRX Series racing, so very excited about that. Got to thank Rent-A-Race Car again for signing on board with the Series Championship, and like we said, they get that awesome championship belt that night as well, so really looking forward to that. Awesome news to kick off the 2021 season, and we're getting ready to go racing here for the ChaLew Performance 60.
Paul, that night is going to be a blast. I'm hoping that I can make it for that. I'm hoping I'm a champion going into that with that Saturday Night Super Speedway Series. One way or another, though, I do want to be there. That's going to be a heck of a night, and pretty cool seeing Stafford be able to host the inaugural race for the XRS Series. So, nonetheless, though, sorry, I'm short a little rust here. I didn't hit the live button earlier. I thought we haven't practiced yet or qualified yet, so I apologize on that. But John Peters is on your pole. Nothing new there. John Peters always knows his way up front. Then Ryan Libby, Evan Borlew, as well as Kenny Kibbe to his outside. So this time around, we're going to see the pace truck head down pit road, and we're going to go green flag action here at Charlotte.
And ironically, the top 5 that qualify are the top 5 in the point standings, minus a couple of positions changed here and there. But the drivers that ended 2020 starting up front in 2021. Pace car is off, and it's John Peters, Ryan Libby getting ready to see green for the first time in 2021 for the NEPS Grand National Series, the Shift Marketing and Design Grand National Series. Green once again, Rowdy, as we get ready to dive it into one.
Neck to neck into 1 and 2 is our top 4, with 5th solely going to Corey Casagrande in that 52, still side by side coming off a 2 as Peters tries to clear the 46 of Ryan Libby. Libby says not so fast. He drives back to the door. Peters into 3.
Trying to roll the top through 3 and 4 is the 46 of Libby, your point leader. The 51 of John Peters on the inside as Libby gets a little bit free in the middle of 3 and 4. A little bit of a bobble and will fall back into line to position number 2. The Hancock Lumber number 56 of Evan Boiler trying to get up here and battle with these two for that lead position as they round 1 and 2. John Peters has that lead as he works down the back.
Car in the wall, the 31, the Anthony Aiello in that 31 machine. He was sitting 8th position last time around, bounced off the wall in 1 and 2 as he falls back. Still a lot of time, though, to bounce back from that, but so far right now, Tim, looks like our top 10 working their way out. Oh, car in the wall! The 10 of Brandon Uhouse in the 61 and the 10 machine made contact coming off of turn 4, and no caution. The green stays out. Hard impact. The 10 is still in the wall going into 1 of Dale Glessner. Big damage on that 10 machine. Uhouse as well. Big damage on his car. They made contact coming out of 4. Still stay green flag racing.
I was about to say they were side by side. That's Glessner's 3rd race in this Grand National division, and not the way he wanted to end it after both of those drivers were running in the top 10. Battle up in the top 10. Just saw to the corner of my eye, Dylan Kopech fend off a position from the 81 of DJ Gerard. Gerard trying to take that spot away. Kopech started in position number 5, is falling right now to position number 6 as he chases down Corey Casagrande right in front of him in car number 52. But up in front of them, pretty much status quo. Single file in front of them, and a couple of drivers out back trying to figure out where they want to run, but clean and green so far through 4 laps.
This is the time to get in that groove, start hitting your marks, and make it to the end. As you said before, that the Mashinowski in that 00 machine, he's fallen back a little bit as he just gave up a couple spots to Wyatt Alexander in the 96 and Devin Marhefka in the 22. But this is that time of the race here, Tim, where it's gather your marbles and start planning for the future.
Yeah, you look through this field, there's Alexander on your screen, the driver from Maine, trying to pick up a few positions here early in this one. But you look at big movers, besides those two that hit the wall, and Anthony Aiello in the 31, who hit the wall earlier, he's fallen back. He's got a battle with the 13 of Marhefka, Brandon Marhefka, but other than that, everybody's kind of around where they started right now. Obviously, only 6 laps in to this event, but a couple of drivers making moves. Anthony Aiello definitely is going to want a caution flag here soon to get that number 31 fixed.
Possibly see some comers and goers, see who has tires later on in this race, as it seems like it's going to take a lot for that caution flag to fly, as we're seeing the 61 of Brandon Uhouse. He's already fallen down a lap as his car is way off the pace, not able to keep up with our other drivers. I'm sorry, he's not down off a lap. He's about to fall out of the top 10, I should say. But again, Tim, even noticing that left front of that car is absolutely destroyed. However, he's still doing a great job of holding ground. Expected him to fall back a little quicker. However, he hasn't.
Yeah, I'm surprised he's able to hold his ground as well as he can, considering he had that accident here on the front straightaway just a few laps ago, and able to kind of hold the top. He right on board with Brandon Uhouse as he dives it down into corner number 1. Wyatt Alexander looking to the inside of the Little Trees number 61. The 0 right behind is Shinosky, trying to find a way through in that Fisher snowplow number 0. I know the Northeast got a little bit of snow here the last couple of days, so I'm sure the Fisher snowplows have got their workout the last couple of days leading into 2021, as the 61 continuing to roll that top on the outside. There's the 0-1 of Charles Lewandowski. ChaLew Performance sponsoring this race here this evening. Want to thank Charles and his crew, and got a little ways to go so far in this one, about mid-pack right now.
It's a track with a lot of potential to move up from the back if you take care of your stuff and you take advantage of others burning up their rubber. But the battle right now on the track is for that 10th position of Brandon Uhouse and that 96 of Wyatt Alexander. And now Matt Shinosky in that that 100 machine, trying to poke his nose into this battle, trying to bide his time, seeing what it's going to take. And looking back out his rearview mirror, in front of him is Devin Marhefka there in that 22. Loving what he's seeing. Hopefully he can get a little less pressure on him and catch up now to that battle that's happening for 7th, as Tim Shinosky gets underneath the 81 of Gerard as they head down into turn 3.
And we had a quick change for position number 3 as well. There's all kinds of positions starting to change here. We're lap 10 into this run. Everybody's starting to find their footing right now, as Kenny Kibbe took a spot over Evan Boiler for position number 3. And we've talked about Kenny Kibbe on here before. As you see the Shinosky battle, there's the 15 of Kenny Kibbe. Wes, we've talked about the 15 before. Top 3 in the point standings. And when we get these long runs, and typically we see them out of this NEPS series, everybody kind of knows each other. They're kind of friends. They know how to race each other. They know what each other is going to do. Kenny Kibbe is usually better on these longer runs as we go green, but now he's got about a second and a half or so, give or take, to catch up to those top 2. But the 15 car continues to come in as we work this run.
I think a lot of it is just taking care of his tires a little bit more than others possibly on the beginning of these runs, and then he works his way back up through the pack. But you can't leave yourself too big of a gap, because you might put yourself out of touch with the leaders, as you said there. He's fallen back a little bit further behind. He is still off the pace by about a tenth and a half or so from our leader, John Peters. So he's still not turning the same lap times. But again, we're only taking lap 13 out of 60. Still a long way to go.
You look through this pack, at least your top 10 or so, single file. The battle in behind is actually now Dylan Kopech in the 18. He's got company with Shinosky in the 18 as they battle side by side for that position. Kopech trying to take the top line around. Shinosky on the inside as they pull even once again down the back straightaway into corner number 3. Great launch, drove it in deep on the outside. Did Dylan Kopech way up against the wall. He's going to pay for it on corner exit. Shinosky moves up 1.
Back up towards the front, Kibbe now has a rear view mirror full of Evan Boiler, as that 56 machine has worked to the back bumper of the 15 coming out of turn 2. He wants to put a little bit of pressure on for that 3rd position. And then further on back, that battle for 5th still is hammering on with 81 of Gerard now looking underneath Corey Casagrande going into 3.
Corey Casagrande's had a couple of good races here as of late, but here comes the 18 car of Shinosky. Where did he come from? Almost straight wide. Thought about it. Coming out of corner number 4, where does he put that car to pass? DJ Gerard. Casagrande will clear. I was about to say Corey's had a couple of good races leading in to this 2021 portion of the Shift Marketing and Design Grand National Series, but right now he is under fire by 2 really quick race cars. Shinosky, we talked about this being a fixed setup, Wes. Maybe using his tires up a little too quick. He's come from 11th up to position number 7. 15 laps in. We'll see what that does, maybe 10 laps or so where that 18 car is on speed.
Right now, Tim is looking great. He's looking like Superman right now as he works now around the 81 of Girard. He's going to take that position and move up to the 6th position through 1 and 2. Now, Corey Casagrande leaving the bottom open just a little bit. Too little too late, though, on the exit of 2. He'll try to have to set him up for the next corner. But Tim Shanowski, so far, looking great in that 18. But just like you said, Tim, how long will that last on this set of tires?
He kind of got the apron down in 1 and 2. Like, he's right on that blue and white line through these corners, but he stepped over it just a little bit in 1 and 2. You kind of saw the attitude of that race car kind of come away from him a little bit, and now he's on the back bumper, Casagrande trying to put something together, and as they battle, Devin Marhefka has caught this pack as well. The 22 car is in at the Sean as the 18 takes that run to the inside. I don't think he's going to be able to do anything down the back straightaway, but definitely got a little bit quicker car than Casagrande in the 52 at this point.
While that is going on, Evan Boiler in that 56 machine has taken over 3rd place as he just actually bounced off the wall along with Kibbe, Kenny Kibbe there. They got synchronized off that wall through 1 and 2. And caution is out. Caution is out. Looks like the 76 of Matt Kenfield was involved in this one. He and the 74 make contact going into 1 and 2. Paul will get us that replay of Ryan Pasoko in the 74. The 76 make contact in 1 and 2. That will bring out our yellow. And Paul's going to get us that replay so we can see exactly what happened live, brought to you.
Brought to you live like we do here at Vidane TV, and that's the promo code you can use over at repsports.com. Got to tell you, the Raise Energy drinks have definitely been liking it. Tried a whole bunch of different flavors over the past week. Sent me a little bit of a care package as they've signed on as an affiliate sponsor here with the network here at Vidane TV. Use that promo code Vidane TV for 15% off, and let them know you heard about us on Vidane TV. But taking a look at the action here on the track, you can see a little bit of 3-wide action. There you see Kentfield in the middle, the 74 down low, the 61 up high. A little bit of damage on the 61. It looks like the 76 spotter didn't tell him he was clear low, or told him he was clear and he wasn't. Came back up to kind of regather his thoughts, and unfortunately the 61 was there. There you see Kyle Casagrande and the 7 car get by with a little bit of damage. Haven't talked about him all night, but we haven't talked about Matt Kenfield either. Started 17th, going to be running about 25th, 26th here as they restart. There you see the 55, Jeffrey Brown, just trying to get that car woed up before slamming into the 76. So definitely some heads-up driving there. Still got 26, all 26 starters are in the race, and looks like we might have some guys coming down pit road.
Paul, our leader, has chosen to go down pit road, and he is only one of a few that were up there that have chosen to make that decision. Kyle Casagrande in that 7 has made his way down pit road as well, but many are staying out. Brandon Uhouse probably now finally going to get that damage fixed. Dale Glessner, who got into that incident with Uhouse earlier, he makes his way down pit road, as well as Kenny Kibbe. The rest of the field, though, staying out, which makes it interesting. We've seen this time and time again here, Paul, where pitting has bit people in the tail, and then again, it's been their savior. Let's see how much of an impact this creates here, Tim. This actually now will relinquish the lead to Ryan Libby.
I think this is a good call. We saw Ryan Libby at Thompson carve through the field to get back and end up going to victory lane in that race on a different pit strategy than everybody else. But you look at the times here, Wes, you see they've fallen off about a second over 15 laps. The problem is going to be traffic, though. These drivers have been able to navigate Charlotte and almost make it a 2-groove racetrack. If that car in front of you might be a little bit slower, we'll see how much John Peters burns up those tires coming through the pack, him and Kenny Kibbe, among those, as you mentioned, that came down onto pit road. I believe we should get the 1 to go this time by. And Paul, I want to bring you in here because over the off-season, per se, or the Christmas holiday season, I know Corey Casagrande, the NEPS Series, the Shift Marketing and Design Grand National Division, got a little bit of love from Lenny Paticki and PRN at the track. Want to say hello to Lenny and those guys, and I know they're probably tuned in tonight. And pretty cool to get the love from PRN at the track, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. It was pretty cool. Corey gave me the heads up. He was going to be on the show last week. We got the link all hooked up there on the Vidane TV Facebook page. So can't thank those guys enough for just taking the time to talk about Vidane TV and the sim racing community as a whole. Because Corey Casagrande and all these drivers in this NEPS series. Definitely a really tight group, and it's not just this series. They've kicked off the Super Truck series as well. They actually had the very first race this past Saturday, New Year's Day. They had that race. Friday. Days are all mixed up. We're still in vacation mode here at Vidane TV. We're trying to work out all the bugs. We're doing the best we can. But pretty cool. We did the draft, the team draft a few weeks ago here on Vidane TV. That was a lot of fun, and really looking forward to some truck racing here as well. So awesome to see that this community is kind of growing by leaps and bounds. You know, Vidane TV and everybody involved here with us, and very excited for that. And it wouldn't be we wouldn't be where we're at right now without the fans. So we want to make sure that we plug. Take a look at the chats here where everybody's working from. Lacey, one of our longtime fans, tuning in from Pittsburgh, PA. Jack M's from Kannapolis, North Carolina. Lindsay B from Durham, Maine. And let's see, we got Evan. Evan's tuning in from inside the race car. He's behind the 46 and ahead of the 18. So that's good. Do they have dash cams in the in the cars?
You know, that's pretty interesting. You know, Evan, if you are listening to us, if you can, I want you to text to us during green flag. That's your next challenge here, brother. I want you to be able to type and comment on this. Next time we are green flag racing here, which you better be getting ready to do here in a second as the lights are off this pace truck, I dare you to try to comment to us. And if you do, I'll give you a virtual high five.
Is that like the million virtual Vidane TV points that he would get if he gets it? You don't get anything with the points, but at least he gets a high five. We'll see what he can do here, though. He's going to have to battle Ryan Libby. He had Kenny Kibbe battling with him before, but Kenny went down pit road. So that 18 car, here's the next thing that we're going to have to watch in this run, Wes. The 18 was lightning quick before we threw that caution flag. We'll see if the heat cycle did anything to these tires. Whether he's still lightning quick, whether they fall off a little bit. But the other thing is, too, is that every time you get a little sniff of the leader, you get to see the leader, you go a little bit harder. I'm interested to see what the 18 does in this run.
We're really going to see what the difference is between tires that are 19, 20 laps old to fresh tires, how important it's really going to be. I'm excited to see what John Peters is able to do. He's going to be starting all the way back in that 20th position if he's able to work his way up. So, all right, pace car is off. We're about to go green flag racing. The flag is out, and we are back rocking and rolling as Ryan Libby gets a great hole shot coming across the line here. He's able to solely take over the first position without any kind of challenge by Boiler, who is now sitting in second. The battle for third now through 1 and 2 is Gerard as well as Shinotsky underneath them. As you mentioned, that 18 coming off a 2.
As they were prior to the caution flag, the 18 and the 81 find themselves what is now locked in a battle for position number 3. The 81 of Gerard on the outside going to try to roll the top, get that run off. Drifts up high, nearly gets the safer barrier, and is going to lose a couple. And there goes the 22 around Devin Marhefka around in the infield. No, there it is. Caution flag is out. It got tight off of corner number 4. He kind of saw that DJ Gerard car go to the outside, and I thought they were going to be fine, Wes, and then they weren't.
Man, that was tighter than my bank account on Christmas Eve. Boy, oh boy, oh boy. When they came off of turn 4, they saw the slow car, not able to get through that cleanly. Luckily, though, not too much damage, even though it looked like possibly a little bit of axle damage on one of those machines. Possibly Devin Marhefka. Could have been just the sim there showing a little bit of axle damage. But Paul's going to get us this replay here. Paul, what you got, as well as Corey Casagrande? We were just speaking about him. He was involved as well in that 52.
Yeah, a little bit of side-by-side action. Got real tight real quick. Another instant replay here brought to you by Raise Energy. Again, use that promo code Vidane TV for 15% off. But you can see the 18, the 81 were kind of side-by-side, and it looked like the 22 was trying to find somewhere to get around that 18 car, and the 52 was just there. So, like you said, Wes, doesn't look like there's too much damage on either of these cars. Kind of a lazy skin taking off the landscaper that did a really good job riding the E-lawnmower on that grass, making all those patterns and everything, kind of tearing that grass up. Devin Marhefka did, but still looks like he's going to be on the lead lap. Not any kind of big damage, and we're looking right now 26 drivers, all 26 starters of this race are still in and still on the lead lap. Wes,
so far so good. We're seeing the classic cliche of cautions breeding cautions here, and but however, this gives us a couple seconds to get some shameless plugs in. So while the E-lawnmower is getting fired up to fix that damage, I'm going to grab my E-alcoholic beverage while Tim Terry tells you what's coming up next for Tim's Corners Motorsports.
I'm just trying to figure out how they're going to put the e-lawnmower through the e-AstroTurf or the e-turf that's on the front, because I don't think they use lawnmowers on those things. But regardless, coming up, we do have some great upcoming events. We mentioned on Thursday that the NEPS Series is back, the Shift Marketing and Design Grand National Series, back at Oxford. These drivers have run so many different racetracks with this series. The last time we saw them, they were at the Zany at the Glenny back in December. They're going to be here tonight at Charlotte. Then they're going to go to Oxford about halfway through their season, so these two races could very well be a huge difference in who comes out with a championship in 2020-2021. But all kinds of great events coming up. We have the NY Sports Show Stafford 150 on Friday. The Vidane Super Speedway Series returns for Saturday nights coming up on Saturday. And then it's going to be busy on the Wednesday night because we've got two shows coming up. The Tim's Corner Motorsports Weekly iRacing Series is going to be at Oxford. It's a double-header night, so 2 full point races for those drivers, 75 laps, heat races, everything else, and then we're going to turn around and do it all over again. And then, Wes, the Showtime Cup Series is back as well. The Cornhole Boys are back.
Man, that is so much fun to call. That's a league that we just started calling not too long ago, and man, they're a blast to call. They put on some great action. I'm glad that they have came aboard and asked us here at Vidane TV to broadcast their events. So thank you out there to the Showtime boys if you guys are currently watching. So after it's all said and done, the pace truck coming around one more time should be lights off next time around, as your leader Ryan Libby got a great hole shot there off the beginning. Evan Boiler sitting second, Tim Shanowski third, the 81 of DJ Gerard is fourth, and rounding out your top 5 is the 09 of Dylan Kopeck. And also big shout out to another supporting cast here at Vidane TV, the top liquid wrap company of North Florida is Rowdy's Dipping Services for any of your vehicle liquid wrap needs. If you need your wheels, your lights, your chrome delete, or your full vehicle wrap, be sure to hit up Rowdy's Dipping Liquid Wrap Services in Jacksonville, Florida. Now, enough with the shameless plugs. Let's get back to Green Flag Racing.
We still got a lap and a half, and the one special event I forgot to mention on those upcoming events is the Jim Hallahan 333 coming up on Sunday. Qualifying going on this week. So if you're out there in Vidane TV land and you want to get involved in that race, open qualifying all week long, and then the heat races will be on Saturday. The big show will be on Vidane TV on Sunday. There's a little bit of a purse for the top 3. Long race, super late models. And the great thing, Wes, about the super late at Bristol, it's on the schedule for the official series coming up. I think it's midway through the season. It's a 70-lap race. This is a 333-lap feature coming up on a Sunday in memory of Jim Hallahan. But the great thing about the super late model with the brand new tire they put on, I shouldn't say brand new, it came on in the summer. The tire is going to wear. The fuel is going to run a little short in that fixed setup. These drivers on Sunday are going to have to be able to manage that car on a long run, like these guys do here with this Grand National car, the ARCA National car that they do on iRacing. So should be interesting on Sunday. Sign-ups are still open for that race if you want to head over to timscorner.ca and get some short track racing in this week. But the lights are now off atop the iRacing pace truck. We're getting ready to go back to green. We'll see if these drivers can get in a little bit of a rhythm. First 15 laps were green, and now a couple of cautions. I'm sure John Peters back there with these short races is kind of saying, hey, let's get some green flag laps in with those brand new tires. John Peters sits in 17th position. He's got a long way to go and a decent amount to get there, Wes, but he's running out of time if we continue to have cautions.
Paul, take note. Vidane TV Land. New t-shirts. Retros. Note that down.
Ooh, that's a better second network name than the Ocho.
I'm not even going to put in my... Okay, we're going to be going back to Green Flag Racing. John Peters, though, made up 3 positions in that 3/4 of a lap, basically. He started 20th on that restart, and John Peters in that 51 machine is up to 17th. So let's see what else he can do here, Tim. As you said, he wants to see some Green Flag Racing. He wants to put these new tires to work. So we see the iRacing pace truck head back down pit road, waiting for the green flag to fly. The rag is in the air. Green flag is out. Ryan Libby again, a great hole shot coming across the line.
Keep an eye on that battle for position number 3. That was the one that was brewing prior to that yellow flag flying. The 81 DJ Gerard on the outside, Shinosky on the inside as they work through corners number 1 and 2. Shinosky gets the advantage, and we've seen the outside line work here in the opening 29 laps of this race, Wes, but we saw it in that last caution flag. You don't want to step over that line per se and get yourself way up in the marbles and, try to knock the wall down in turn 4.
DJ Gerard, a better transition off of turn 4 here. As before the last time that we were green, he did not come out of turn 4 as clean. This time, a little bit better, as he is actually following up here after a truck win. He won the truck race, the inaugural truck race for the season that just started up. So DJ trying to go back-to-back here with the NEPS as he's trying to battle back out on the outside on the 18 of Shinosky. That battle for third still rages on through 3 and 4.
Yeah, we were able to see the draft for that Super Truck Series prior to the new year, and we're going to see the Super Truck Series on Fridays beginning next week on Vidane TV, so excited to bring that one in. In behind them, there's Matt Shinosky to the inside. Yellow flag, though, is out on the speedway as he was battling with Dylan Kopech for that position, so we'll slow him down once again.
It was Kyle Casagrande that goes through the grass not once but twice this race, but the 64 of Michael Bennett is what checks them all up. That 64 machine came out of turn 4 a little loose, loses control, hits the wall down through the dog leg, which checks up the rest of the field, which collects a 61 of U-House as well as a 7 of Casagrande. However, this time Casagrande not so lucky when it comes to walking away or driving away per se without any heavy damage. Paul, what do you got for us there, buddy?
I got us a Raise Energy instant replay. We're going to take a look at Michael Bennett here in the 64 machine. You can see gets right up in the back bumper on the 9 and kind of checks up a little bit, shoots up, and almost loses the car on that high side. You can see big-time damage there, and the 61 tries to jump down low, but unfortunately the 7 of Kyle Casagrande was there, and you can see lots of big damage on the left front of that race car. So that's going to probably do the 7 car in for the night. He may stick around, try and get some points, but you can see a couple of damaged cars in the back of the pack here.
That's a tough break for Kyle. I've actually gotten to race with Kyle a little bit more than ever. He's been racing in the Vidane Super Speedway Series on Saturday night, so really cool guy. He's typically a conservative racer on at least the Super Speedways. I think this is more of his niche here on the short tracks and the mile and a halves, but he's trying to get his way up through this field. Second time getting caught up with something, but again, we mentioned it before, Tim. It's all about that 51 of John Peters wanting to see those long runs. He went from 20th to 17th that first run in a lap. This time 2 laps, 17th to 13th. Slowly but methodically working his way back up to the top 10.
And there's some big names in this NEPS Grand National Series presented by Shift Marketing and Design that are right around him right now. John Peters in 13th, Jason Ricker right in behind him in the 9 car in 14th, and Kenny Kibbe, who also came down pit road to take tires on that pit stop, running in 15th. Right in front, Zane Farrell in the 14. I know Zane's got some fans watching us on Vidane TV, currently running position number 12 in that beautiful looking 14 car. That still has the heart on it, Paul, from Watkins Glen, so it's great to see the heart still on that race car. And a couple of positions up is the Brent Roy machine. That is scored as the 26, but it's got a 2 on it. I don't see this. Can we get a close-up, Paul, of that and see where the 6 is? My eyes aren't great, but I don't see a 6.
I'm looking. I'm not seeing a 6. It looks like it's a 2 on the roof, a 2.
Wes, he's the Camry kid. He drove I believe a Chevy in the Super Truck Series. He's now driving, I think he's just confused.
Yeah, you know what? He's showing his love for all the manufacturers. I guess we can put it out there like that. I mean, I used to drive around a Mustang, and I have your typical redneck Heartbeat of America Chevrolet tattoo on my body. So I guess that's kind of the equivalent of white trash. But anyways, maybe he just loves more than one manufacturer here.
Let's see if we can't get a hold of one of our drivers here in this race. DJ Gerard currently running in position number 4. We'll see if we can't catch up with DJ. You got a copy?
Yeah, I got you loud and clear.
Before we talk about what happened earlier this week or a couple of days ago, we'll talk about this one, running in position number 4. What do you got for these boys in front of you?
Hoping a couple more yellows and then 4 feel goods is what I'm hoping for, but right now we'll just ride along and hope for the best, I guess.
Well, we're sitting on lap 34. We're halfway through this race. When do you come down and take tires if we do?
Between now and lap 58, I guess.
Sounds like a plan. Want to talk about the Super Truck race, because you had a pretty good night to kick off the season on Friday, didn't you?
Yeah, we had a good car. We had team student drivers did pretty well. We tried a couple things during practice and figured out if you held them down on the bottom, you could get by them pretty easily, and that's what held me off and got me the lead.
So we saw the draft on Vidane TV. We saw a little bit of the, I don't want to say trash talk going back and forth, but was there any of that Friday that these viewers can potentially see coming up in a couple of weeks' time?
Yeah, there was definitely a lot of trash talking going on, but it's all in good fun.
So sitting in position number 4, getting ready to go green. Good luck the rest of the way, and hopefully we'll talk to you in victory lane after this is all done.
Sounds great. Thanks, guys, for putting this on.
That's DJ Gerard running in position number 4, getting ready to go back to green. West, the lights are off on top the pace truck, and we're getting ready to let these drivers loose. I'm interested with that little bit of pit strategy there. If everybody comes down on lap number, let's say we have a caution on lap 50, everybody comes down, I would assume that John Peters might stay out if he doesn't have the track position. This might get interesting here.
Tim, we've been saying it a couple times this night. Cautions breed cautions. We've turned about last 10 laps or so under yellow here. So this isn't what John Peters wants to see. But I promise you, this is what Ryan Libby wants to see with the whole shots that he's been getting. If you throw in a couple more cautions, that's another 6 to 8 laps under caution. You're over halfway already through this race. You're making this a lot easier on Ryan Libby and a lot easier of a decision for him to make if the caution comes out again, to pit or not. But right now, Tim, the odds are against Mr. Peters there in that 13th position. He needs to see the green flag a heck of a lot more often.
If this thing goes green the rest of the way, I think it goes into John Peters' favor. It's just a matter of how long it takes for these guys to get away from each other up in front. Ryan Libby going to see the green flag first. And look at Wyatt Alexander already on the bumper of the 18 of Shinosky. We are green. A better start that time for Boiler on the outside. Holds with the 46 of Libby as they enter corner number 1. We'll see if the Hancock Lumber 56 can roll the top here.
Boiler with the best restart yet in this race as he cuts back down into that second position as he's cleared. Oh, he goes for the slingshot. He's trying to look under him. He is there, Tim. He's there on the left rear quarter panel. Almost makes contact with the 46 of Libby. Caution is back out, though. The 52 of Corey Casagrande caught up in an incident. It looks like he may have gotten a little bit of help from the 74 right off a turn 2 to straight up turn him, as DW would say, and that will bring out the yellow. But man, it was starting to heat up there. I think if we would have stayed green, we would have seen some side-by-side action off of 4.
I think that was one of Evan's best opportunities to take away that lead, because we've seen how Ryan Libby is so quick. But Paul, if these cautions continue to come out, we keep getting Ray's Energy replays, it might not be for naught up there for some of those drivers trying to make those moves.
Yeah, absolutely. If we started shotgunning, pulled a page out of the John 84 Adams over there on Twitch and shotgunning a Ray's Energy drink every time we got a follow over there on Twitch, I think we'd probably be end up turning into the Flash or something like that, just not being able to hold down the jitters. But we'll take a look, see what happened to Corey Casagrande. You can see he's right behind at the side-by-side battle between the 12 and the 76. A little bit of a bump from the 74, and, a little bit of a bigger bump from the 74. Puts him up into the wall, and great heads-up driving there by Michael Bennett in the 64. Gets right on around him, and you can see the steering has gone away on that number 52 machine, having to really crank that wheel to the right to try and get it to go straight. So a tough break for Corey. Casagrande in the 52, going to be probably sitting on pit road while they bang on that thing with the virtual hammers, getting some of that damage out.
Kyle and Corey both having a tough race here, just trying to keep the nose clean and getting the end of the 60 laps. Ryan Pasoko, though, in that 74 will limp his car down in pit road, and I think this will be it for that 74 machine. If we see him back out there, I have a feeling he may be a little bit of an issue, but they do have one fast repair, so keep that in mind. But Ryan Libby, though, has headed down pit road. We were wondering, Tim, if we would see him down pit road, and that 46 machine went down. And guess who didn't? You guessed it right. If you guessed John Peters.
Yeah, we got a couple of drivers that actually did stay out on the racetrack ahead of him to kind of gain a little bit, but saw the 81 of Gerard also on pit road. So the lap 2 to go opportunity, or lap 58 opportunity, is actually a lap 38 opportunity. He's going to come down and get tires. I think this is the safest way to do it. But we've seen these races go sideways as well, and some strategy being played near the end. We saw the caution at Watkins Glen, I think with about 5 laps to go in that race, which turned that race upside down on its head, and Evan Boyler ended up going to victory lane, and right now he is running at the front of this field. So the 56 car in position where he was in the last Shift Marketing and Design Grand National Series race, but he's still got a few laps to go here that he's going to have to hold off some very hungry competitors behind him.
Tim, have you ever mixed rum chata with eggnog?
It's been a while. The holidays are over, though. I feel like that's like a holiday beverage.
Eggnog is made for all year round, 365 days. Just not everybody sells it all year round. That's the key to it. You got to buy in bulk, Tim.
I will take your word for that one.
It's like drinking Christmas any time of the year. You know, a lot of people, like, I buy cinnamon candles because it smells like Christmas, and also it reminds me of Fireball. So cinnamon candles, another great gift that's good for 365 days out of the year. That's not only festive, but also reminds you to drink responsibly.
Oh, speaking of gifts, hang on. Speaking of gifts, you can also, if you didn't get what you wanted for Christmas, maybe you got some cash out of a card or something like that, or like a PayPal card, or heck, we'll even take a Steam card at this point. Head on over to Vidane.net/shop. Get yourself a Vidane Racing, Vidane TV t-shirt, sweatshirt. We got coffee mugs. We got these cool mask things that hide some of the ugly. That's why I wear mine. I don't know why everybody else is wearing a mask. And these awesome little championship belt decals as well for $5 a pop. Check that out, Vidane.net/shop, and pick yourself up something nice.
And another thing about these shirts, of course, I myself have one as well. They are super comfortable. They are the Izod material, I think, where it's called. Listen, my fat ass will sweat when I'm in the shower. And it's horrible. These shirts are basically like sweat deterrent. Like, you don't sweat in these shirts. They're super, super comfy, and they're at a great price. Make sure you pick up a Vidane TV shirt. Tim, you got to get yourself one, too.
Yeah, I'm going to have to get on that and get on the new trends for 2021. And obviously we had them in 2020, but it's a brand new year. I'm going to need some new threads for this year. But we're getting ready to go back to green. We'll see if we can get some rhythm into this race. Evan Boyler and Tim Shinosky, your front row. Wyatt Alexander, Charles Lewandowski, the ChaLew Performance 60 is this race. He's trying to get some extra TV time running in position number 4 all the way up from 20th place. And then Matt Shinosky completes your top 5. The 2, where's the 6 car? Brent Roy running in 6th. That's where it is, I guess. John Peters, Kenny Kibbe, Dale Glessner all the way back up with that quick repair after that early incident in 9th. And David Arute complete your top 10. So we've got some new names closer to the front of the field, and then we've got John Peters kind of hanging around there in position number 7 with Kenny Kibbe in 8. So I'm excited to see what that 4th row right there can do on this restart.
I'm right with you. Anytime that John Peters is working from the back to the front, no matter the circumstances, it always has my interest peaked. So as the pace truck's about to head off of pit road, let's see if the 18 can play the same strategy the 56 did on that last restart. He was able to keep up with Ryan Libby on that start and kept a corner to him, but let's see how it goes as the green flag is in the air, and we are back green, and the 56 of Boyler will get the whole shot coming across line. Now the battle will be on for second as you are on board with the 51 of John Peters. You see he's clean sailing into 1 and 2.
Yeah, and you're able to see those top 4 get away and get single file, and then the battle in front of him side by side. Shinosky on the inside, that's Matt Shinosky, and Kenny Kibbe on the outside. There's one car there as well right in front of them. That might be the 26 of Brent Roy. Indeed it is, as we come back live. The 2 to the outside, the 0 Shinosky to the inside. And then Kenny Kibbe trying to find a way around. He was able to get around John Peters. That is big, but Peters now going to go back to the inside.
Battles all over this track right now, and man, it's some great racing we're seeing up here up front as that battle is heating up for looks like a little bit more contact in the back. The 26 of Brent Roy barely touched the wall if he did, coming off return 2, but great job with the recovery there. But a lot of connection issues right now at the 96 of Wyatt Alexander. Seen a little bit of lag there from him. Hopefully that doesn't mess up Tim Shinoski at all, as now he looks low out of 4.
Side by side for position number 2, Alexander Shinoski going at it. Just caught in behind there. Kenny Kibbe and John Peters trying to fight their way through traffic. Dale Glessner there as well. And where did Ryan Libby come from? The 46 car is already up in the top 10. Well, sitting in position number 11, trying to find a way around here and get into the top 10. What a run for Ryan Libby back to the front.
Paul, you go where they're not. Oh, big checkup up front. The 26 and the 01 checking up the back. 3 wide and all. Bigger 01's into it. The 51's in it. Jesus, tap dancing Christ. It looks like the whole field is almost in the incident coming off of turn 4. Big damage here for the 51 of John Peters. Oh, man, that is not what John Peters wanted to see with almost only 15 laps to go.
That could have been a lot bigger than it was, though. They were 3 wide. A checkup by, I believe you mentioned the 26 of Brent Roy was in the middle, so something must have happened there to that car. But Paul will take a look at it on the Rays Energy replay and see what happened to bring out this mess.
Yeah, you can see a lot of these drivers were trying to check up, because you can see Brent Roy there in the 2, where's the 6 car, checks up a little bit, as well as Lewandowski there in the 01, and really nowhere for John Peters to go. He checked up as much as he could, but he had the 22 and the 46 battling for position behind him as well. So you can see Ryan Libby was able to get by just fine, scot-free. There you can see Dylan Kopeck in the 09 car. He came through the grass. We'll back this up one more time to see if there was any damage there. You see there's Zaney in the 14. He gets by, no damage there, except for maybe a little bit of undercarriage damage. There you can see the 01 getting up into the wall. So great wreck avoidance by these guys down in the grass. It looks like they kind of merged back into traffic. No harm, no foul there. So great heads-up driving by Kopeck and Zane Farrell.
Tim, we've been talking about John Peters working his way up from the back of the pack and these cautions breeding cautions, and it looked like he finally caught a break where he could get back up there, but now he's being mirrored back in that 25th position is John Peters. So one of the top drivers here at NEPS having some late race action, man. Again, Tim, I mentioned it before the first round of pit stops. We've seen it save people. We've seen it break people. And it looks like possibly that late pit stop is what put him in that position, and he may be regretting that he made that pit stop. Where on the flip side, Ryan Libby in that 46 already up to 7th position.
Yeah, this is going to be a wild finish to this one with probably just over 10 laps to go. 10 laps to go and change. We're going to come by next time and see, or this time by and see 15 laps remaining in this one. Caught a glimpse of the Vidane TV chat on Facebook. Brent spotter Steve said that was not his fault. He's at home drinking an Ultra, so Steve did not clear Brent Roy at all there through that wreck. Just looked like he got a little bit tight, and tough break for him down on pit road. Gets the quick repair. He'll come back out on the racetrack. Want to say hello to Tim Elliott as well. He's tuned in from Gary, New Brunswick, the flagman at Speedway 660. So no black flags on that call as far as I know, but I'm sure he's looking at the 2 car and pointing that rolled up black flag at it.
So after it's all said and done, Boiler is still sitting on that top spot with Shinoski in second, third place being Wyatt Alexander. Kenny Kibbe, we talked about him conserving tires earlier. So far, so good what he's done in this race with his strategy. He's sitting 4th. We've seen him pit earlier when John Peters came in. And then Glessner, we saw him in an incident earlier today. After using that reset, he is now sitting in the 5th position.
Yeah, Dale's had a couple of good runs, a lot of speed to that number 10 car since he's joined this series mid-December, but really hasn't had that good run to really bring it home and kind of show that speed. He's had a couple of great qualifying efforts, just not the end result that he wanted, or as we saw here tonight, the start that he wanted to his night. But right now, running in position number 5, showing the speed that he's had in these last couple of races, trying to lock up a top 5 or maybe even a top 3 finish to get that podium interview here on Vidane TV. But Evan Boiler's going to be tough to beat. Kenny Kibbe is the first driver on new tires, running in position number 4. He's going to be lightning quick. We've seen Ryan Libby carve through the field. We've seen John Peters carve through the field. We've seen these drivers on new tires being able to do that. But as I say John Peters' name, he's back in position number 23, so he's got some work to do.
as he does, and I think I might have to rack this one up as a coulda, woulda, shoulda situation for him. But hey, you never know what's going to happen. Even in that 23rd position, we see the action is ramping up. Ever since lap 18, 19, when that first caution flew, the cautions have bred more cautions. We've seen the intensity increase each and every restart, and I have a feeling this is going to be no different. As next time around, we should be at the 1 to go for it to go back to green, and about 13 to go here in the race.
So we'll see these drivers double up and get ready to head back to green to conclude the ChaLew Performance 60, as Evan Boiler in the 56 going to come down across the stripe this time, and this should be the 1 to go lap here. Shinosky on the outside, Wyatt Alexander, they were battling for second prior to that yellow flag, and I'm sure we'll see that, if not maybe the battle for the lead for those two drivers. And then I think the wild card in this one has to be Kenny Kibbe and Ryan Libby. 4th and 8th right now for those two drivers, or check that 7th for Ryan Libby. 2 of the 3 that are battling for a championship this season. The other one being John Peters, and obviously with that last incident has a little bit of damage, so that's going to throw another curveball into this championship run. And I'm sure John is going to look forward to heading home to one of his racetracks, home racetracks at Oxford Plains Speedway later on this week. This is the exciting part of this series. This is the part I love about this series. They go to so many different racetracks, Wes. We get to go to Oxford on Thursday.
And Oxford is much different than Charlotte Motor Speedway. If you guys aren't that familiar with Oxford, such a cool track though. So here we go, rocking and rolling. We're going to be restarting with about 12 to go, and we got some of the fastest drivers in the back going to try to work their way up to the front, including John Peters, which we are expecting to see him work his way up pretty quickly. We got Ryan Pasoko back there, but up front, though, is Evan Boiler in that 56 machine. He's shown the way ever since Mr. Peters and Libby both made pit stops. So can Tim Shinosky get that outside line to work here on that restart? As they creep into the restart zone, green flag is out. Give the whole shot to the 56 of Boiler, and that battle for second now will rage on into turn 1 and 2, or will it be a battle as Wyatt Alexander clears the 18 into turn 1?
Look at how deep Libby was able to drive that 46 down into the corner compared to Glessner in the 10. Kenny Kibbe on the outside with new tires as well, going to clear the 10 or at least try. And Ryan Libby going to hop up in front of Shinosky, and they are going to battle it out for that position. Keep an eye on Libby and keep an eye on how far the leader can get out ahead of this field. Being stacked up right now, this battle by the 96 of Wyatt Alexander. Look at Kenny Kibbe go to the inside.
There's action all over this racetrack as you see the battle really starting to heat up further at Wyatt Alexander now with a gaggle of cars on his bumper. 4 cars lined up behind him, and here comes that 18 machine of Tim Shinosky on the outside. He's going to drive it down into turn 3. Can he clear Wyatt Alexander as they are all bumper to bumper, somehow making it out of turn 4? Give that to Shinosky in tow, Ryan Libby.
18 goes wide at a corner. Number 4 opens the door for Ryan Libby down to the inside as they continue to battle it out for that position. 10 laps remaining, and here goes the 81. What a run by Gerard to the inside.
Into the wall, Lesnar, the number 10 car, hard into the wall. Big damage for him as we stay green. That was harder hit than I thought it was going to be. They were 3 wide there for a little bit. Did not work out for that 10, who is now off the track and off pace. So leader now. Oh man, do we have some trouble up front? What happened to Boiler?
Libby has tires on that race car. That's how big the tire advantage is. He'll go to the lead. DJ Gerard will probably move by here on the back straightaway on the 56 of Boiler, and there's the yellow. Yellow flag will fly, and that'll set us up. I don't think it'll be a green-white checker, but it'll be pretty darn close. Be less than 5 to go when we go back to green. And some action involving the 64, I believe, of Michael Bennett. The Duralube number 64 is crushed in on the right rear corner of that race car. So we'll throw the yellow flag and get him re-racked and restacked one more time.
Yeah, Tim, it looked like the 31 of Aiello gets back into the back of the 13 of Marhefka and spins him coming through the dog leg, who does collect Michael Bennett, the 64. Second incident we've seen him in today, as Paul's going to go. Oh, that was a hard hit by the 13. Paul's going to get us a full replay.
There you can see it, some drivers with newer tires against drivers with older tires. You see Corey Casagrande gets by just fine, but 13 spins out. There's that big old hit that Wes was talking about down there on the inside wall. And you can see
in-car?
Yeah, we'll definitely take a look at the in-car there. You can see Michael Bennett's car clean on the right side, or left side rather, but the right side is kind of caved in at this point. See if we can switch over there. You can see the damage on the 13 car. That car's toast. That car's so toast it's actually burning on the inside. You can see the black smoke coming out from there, but you can see it again. Kind of slows up just a little bit. Corey Casagrande in the 52 was able to get by just fine, and we'll switch this right over to the cockpit view. There you see the 0 up high, out of shape, and you can see just big wiggle, 3 wide, and there's the contact from the inside, and here's the contact. Oh, right in the back of the pace truck. Holy smokes.
Oh, man. I hope nobody was in that pace truck. Can someone check on the Bodine brothers? My lord.
Turns out they were going to get a hot dog, so they were just going to wash it down with a Raise Energy, and there you can see hops back in and takes over his pace truck driving duties. So good to see that the pace truck drivers are okay.
Oh, man. Tim, we see some pretty nasty incidents here on iRacing, but some of these, man, they look like some tough shots that kind of still make you wince.
Still love the damage model on this ARCA National car as well. Great to see the parts flying off and the tires doing things that they shouldn't be, with the control arms getting damaged and all that fun stuff. So excited to see if they can continue to move that on to the other short track cars as well. But it's a great thing that iRacing did a couple of builds ago, and they continue to tweak on it. They've got some road cars with some nasty damage model pieces as well. So if you haven't been on the service recently, a perfect opportunity to get on and enjoy everything that iRacing has to offer, especially in the off season for most of us in the Northeast. And there's really nothing else to do outside. Do your winter sports, your skiing, your snowboarding. That's all great. But if you want some race car stuff, iRacing, definitely the place to be. We'll complete lap number 54 this time by Ryan Libby and Evan Boiler, your top two. If I'm Evan, I'm going to be holding on for dear life here on this restart. Probably going to have 3, maybe 4 laps remaining when we go back to green flag competition. So new tires, old tires, try to hold on and get some points, gain some points for what you can. Speaking about points, so looking back there, Wes, John Peters, a little bit of crash damage, a couple of attrition being bitten there. He is up to position at number 16, I believe, through all of this. So he passed a couple of cars through that wreck and gained a couple more points to get a little bit closer to stop the bleeding and make that deficit a little bit less than it's going to be when we leave here tonight.
9 cars in just a couple laps. John Peters definitely getting it done back there. And if there's a lot of people like, man, why are they talking about John Peters so much? Listen, John Peters is a driver here that we've seen come from the back to the front, to the back to the front, to the back to the front again. Many times here with NEPS, as well as in other series we may have seen him run in the past. He's a heck of a race car driver. He is a heck of a person as well. And he's just, there's always entertainment around him. So we like to keep a tab on him, as well as drivers like a Wild Alexander. Have we actually checked on our buddy Corey Casagrande? He's actually in the P11 with that number 52 machine with Kyle Casagrande in P10. So after their big damage, they're doing well. And how about our buddy Zane Farrell in that 14? We have not said his name at all yet today, which is actually uncommon. Typically he's up in the mix, but he's quietly pulling off top 10 right now, Tim.
Yeah, we said his name a little bit earlier. Still has the heart in the car from Watkins Glen. Had a great run at the Zany at the Glenny, and quietly, methodically working his way up. Started in 26, was up in the top 10 a little bit earlier, had some pit strategy play out, and it looks like, unless something zany, no pun intended, happens here in the next couple laps, he should walk away with at least a top 10 run. We're getting ready to go back to green. Next time by, we'll see that green flag. We'll have 4 laps remaining to try to settle this thing. And if something does happen, I believe there's one green-white checker in the back pocket for these guys as well. But, Wes, hopefully we don't have to use it, and hopefully we get this thing in green. And Ryan Libby trying to win this thing and pad that point lead that he has in this Shift Marketing and Design Grand National Series.
Yeah, not exactly sure on the amount of green-white checkers. I know they had one possible reset that some of these drivers use, which is their fast repair, which is something we as drivers wish we had in real life. Where you get a little bit of damage, you can go down and get your car fixed and like a new, but only once in this race. So you got to use it strategically, and we've seen drivers such as the Casa Grandes use it and use it to their advantage. So coming through 3 and 4 here, maybe one last time under yellow. Possibly one more green-white checkered in the pocket, but we shall see. We will be coming to lap 57 here as we see the iRacing pace truck head down pit road. Here we go. Ryan Libby on those fresh tires, or Boiler on the outside. Green flag is out. Libby does not go. Boiler does. Boiler able to get a little bit of an advantage. However, here comes the 46 of Libby. He's able to power down on the inside out of 1 and 2.
And it looks like everybody's able to get through. There's real no stack up in the middle of the field with that slower start. The 81 going to go to the inside. DJ Gerard trying to pick up a at least runner-up finish to this one. Evan Boiler on the outside trying to hold on for dear life on those 57 lap old tires. Here comes Kenny Kibbe. Kibbe to the inside on Boiler. Battle for third is going to be a battle no more. Where did Dylan Kopech come from? Kopech to the inside.
Dylan Kopech out of nowhere coming up in that 09 machine, trying to work his way up as we are 3 to go. That last time by. The battle for the lead, though, starting to heat up. DJ Gerard, we spoke to him earlier. He is the defending Truck Series winner from the last time around with NEPS. He's getting closer to that bumper of Libby, heading down into 3 and 4. Pop sickle sticks are out. 2 to go here at Charlotte Motor Speedway.
DJ Gerard trying to follow up that Super Trucks win with a victory.
Big wreck in the back. Big wreck in the back. Sorry, Ryan Pasoko in it. We stay green.
Still green flag racing up in front. Ryan Libby continues to lead. Pulls away from DJ Gerard. Gerard trying to close in at the end of this one and try to pick up another big NEPS win, but it's slowly slipping away. They come by this time, Wes. They'll see 1 to go, and Ryan Libby close to taking away another win here in this Shift Marketing and Design Grand National Series.
Maybe one pump too much of lotion onto the palm of DJ Gerard as it slips away slowly from Ryan Libby as Libby drives it into 1 and 2. He's got quite the lead here on DJ. No pressure behind him. They're single file throughout it. Quick note real quick, that 51 of John Peters has worked his way into the top 10 for those John Peter fans. But all Ryan Libby has to do is make it through 3 and 4 one more time.
Working through 3 and 4 for the final time, and the point leader is going to win one in Charlotte. Checkered flag is going to come out, and it's going to be Ryan Libby going to victory lane one more time. DJ Gerard and Dylan Kopech going to be your top 3 in this one. Kenny Kibbe, Tim Shinosky, and then the rest of the field. And it was shaken up the last couple laps. We saw that big wreck happen in the back, and it's going to pay off for some and not for others.
And to note, John Peters started this race, the last couple of race cars, back in 25th position, finished 8th, Tim, 8th.
Yeah, that's it's not a good night, but it's a good night considering the cards he was dealt in this race. So Libby going to celebrate and take in that one. You see the results on your screen. Charles Lewandowski, late race wreck, comes back to 10th. Evan Boiler on those old tires did not come down pit road. Finished in position number 9 in this one. And the Casa Grande is each going to take a top 10 finish away from this one. And you look back on that second page, Anthony Aiello had a up and down night. Wyatt Alexander was up in front, same fate. Jason Ricker, didn't really talk about Jason all night long, in 14th place. You look back through the field, Matt Kentfield had a tough start to this race, finishes in 18th place. David Arute, 19th. Brandon Marhefka among those in 20th. Brandon Uhouse, I think, was involved in that wreck with Glessner at the start. He's got a top 20 run out of this. And then you look through the field, Farrell, Brown, Pasako, Roy, Bennett, and Glessner complete your field. Great little run here tonight at Charlotte.
It was. We had that nice green flag run to beginning of it all. And then cautions just started breeding cautions, but it wasn't like what we've seen in the past, Tim, where there's so many cautions. It's just not enough action or too much action to make it exciting. We still got a lot of great beating and banging, door handle racing in the green flag stages, as well as storylines, drivers going up and down throughout the field. So we're going to give you the order here. Ryan Libby, again, your winner. Gerard finishing second, and then Dylan Kopech finishing third. So I believe Tim has worked his way down into victory lane with the winner himself, Ryan Libby.
Well, Ryan, it's another race where we had some pit strategy come into play here. Middle of the race, caution flag started coming out. Were you thinking about when that pit stop was supposed to be?
Yeah, it was definitely a tough race here. Saving tires and trying not to let John Peters kind of run away with it there. When he pitted, kind of opened up an opportunity for a situation where if you could stay out with enough cautions, or you could pit later on and have the fresher tires. And luckily, it was kind of luck of the draw tonight, where the caution fell at the right time. I had the right track position, and it just kind of fell together for us. But for a while there, it really wasn't falling together. But I'm glad it all worked out. Too bad for John Peters there coming out of four, with a little wreck that we had. I actually suffered a little damage on that, my right front, but I know he got the worst end of it. It was kind of too bad for that. But overall, it was a pretty good race for us.
We're about halfway through this season now. I believe we got 8 races left to go in this Grand National Series. Leading the points, pulling away a little bit. You mentioned John Peters had a not so optimal night when it comes to points. How big is the championship in your mind coming up to these final 8 races?
Yeah, I mean, right now it's definitely crunch time. You got to really look at you got to keep top 5 in. Top 10s I don't think are going to do it here right now. You got to get in the top 3, top 5. And that's about it. And right now, I hate to say it, but sometimes you got a points race. You got to be a little bit on the conservative side. Maybe not make the move that you could move at the beginning of the season, and hopefully it would pay off. Nowadays it's kind of like, maybe I'll wait an extra lap or two and make sure I can make the move clean without wrecking myself and having a bad points night.
Later in the week, we head north with the virtual haulers and go to Oxford Plains Speedway. We go from Watkins Glen to Charlotte to Oxford. Great little mix in this series. What do you think you got for those boys there?
Well, I'll tell you what, Oxford's a tough place. You're constantly turning there. It takes everything you can not to burn the right front off that thing, or the rear tires coming out of the corner. So that's definitely going to be a tricky little place. I don't have a lot of seat time with the K&N car there. I have it with the modifieds there, but with the K&N car, I'm going to have to maybe do possibly a little testing this week to kind of practice for that. But that's definitely going to be quite a show for that.
Well, who do you got in this race car? Who would you like to thank for tonight's performance?
I got to thank Phillips 66 again, and ChaLew Performance for putting the race on, and all the guys at Shift, and Casa Grande for putting this on, and of course, one and always, Vidane TV for putting the broadcast on. It's the best broadcast in iRacing right now, so you guys do a great job. Thanks.
And we thank you for that. Ryan Libby, your winner, your point leader in this Shift Marketing and Design Grand National Series, taking the ChaLew Performance 60 this evening. I believe, Wes, you've caught up with our second place finisher, DJ Gerard.
DJ, we caught a quick word with you earlier in the race, and you come back, and we're talking to you one more time here on the podium, man. You were up front throughout this race. You found yourself in the mix, and you're able to come home with second place. Walk us through your battle.
Yeah, a bunch of us were just waiting on tires there, and when the right time was to come, and Libby came down, so we all kind of just followed him down, and I just tried to follow Libby as closely as I could up through the field.
Walk us through that difference from the old tires to new tires. We saw it on the track, of course, what the difference was, but from the seat of the cockpit there, what was it like for you, that difference between the old and new tires?
We started getting towards the end of that run. You were just slipping and sliding all over the place, and then you put the fresh tires on, and it literally felt like you could just put it wherever you wanted to. It was just a matter of not putting yourself in a bad spot and sticking it 3 wide where you're going to get wrecked, and trying to be patient enough but still try to move forward.
DJ, you came into this race as the winner of the first Truck Series race. I'm sure that had a ton of confidence on your shoulders there coming into this, as well as the team student driver teammate finishing third of Kopech, I believe, there as well. Was there any kind of strategy in between you two with that having in common, or just kind of go in with your own thing?
No, for as far as this stuff goes, just going in with our own thing. I haven't been able to make the last couple of Thursdays due to work, so it was just nice to be able to hop on. We were on the same channel, but we were definitely on our own strategy plans.
DJ, we know it takes a lot to make it in real life. It also takes some help to make it happen here on the virtual side of things. Give us some shout outs, some thank yous you may have.
First and foremost, thanks for you guys for putting this on live. ChaLew for sponsoring tonight. 949 Productions in real life and Fireside Beverage.
DJ, it's always fun to watch you get out there and race. And again, on this Monday night, it was no difference. Congratulations on your second place finish.
Thank you, guys.
All right, and I believe Tim Terry has caught up real quick with third place, Dylan Kovac.
Dylan, that was a very exciting run at the end when it came to the tires. Some drivers on old tires, some drivers on new tires. Talk us through your final couple laps and how you got to third.
Well, it wasn't easy, that's for sure. I didn't expect. I was in the group chat, just like what's the name? DJ was just talking about. I was in the group chat with them all. One thing we did discuss is how far off these tires were. I didn't believe it. I put fresh tires on a little bit later than everybody else, and it ended up paying off really well. It just seemed like it had so much more grip. You could drive underneath. That's what I did, like going underneath Kibby.
So coming home with position number 3 has to be a big momentum booster. You're looking near the top of the point standings. What are your goals these next 8 races? Where do you see yourself at the end of the season?
I'm just gonna take every race as they come. I really want to just focus on finishing. I haven't really been as fast as I should have been compared to like the last season. It's probably due to me not practicing as much, but it's just taking them as they go. I'll qualify the best I can, try to finish the best I can, just try to round up some points maybe on Libby.
Can we get any coming up on Thursday? Oxford Plains Speedway, another different racetrack compared to what we've seen the last 2 races. What do you got for these boys at the Short Bull Ring in Maine?
I actually finished second there last season, so I think it's a pretty good track. I'm a short track kind of guy. I like racing hard with everybody on those little tiny things, so it's going to be a game of survival and tires, I think.
Who do you got in this race car this evening? Who would you like to thank for the third place run?
First and foremost, I'd just like to thank Shift Marketing. They're just great. Matt is a great guy. It's a great company. They do a lot of really cool stuff. So if you guys want to check them out, you can. I'd like to thank you guys. You guys always do an awesome broadcast. You guys do my league every once in a while, and I do appreciate it. It's one of the best broadcasts ever. And ChaLew for sponsoring the race, and Corey, Kyle, and Zane, and everybody that sit here and put everything together.
That's Dylan Kopeck, third place run here this evening. And Wes, a great show by these drivers once again at Charlotte. Always love covering the NEPS series and seeing these guys have some fun and put on some great shows. And excited to see the next one coming up on Thursday for these drivers at Oxford.
Sounds like Wes is already checked out and headed down to the bar there. Not so.
Wrong button.
Wrong button. Here we go. Headset came unplugged.
Yeah, I am good. Sorry, it's a little bit of technical difficulties here, but Tim, this was some great racing we got to see here tonight. Saw a little bit of everything. Didn't get to see that really long green flag run that we typically see at mile and a halfs, but we got to see a lot of action. We got to see drama from one end to the other of the track. You can't ask for much more.
Yeah, pretty exciting night. And coming up, we've got some great racing action, including a doubleheader coming up on Wednesday. Some short track racing, some Cup Series racing. We got the Jim Hallahan 333 coming up. I also see on that schedule we got one at the very bottom there, Paul, that we haven't announced yet that is going to make some people fairly excited because we're going ARCA racing again with TCM. What do we got in these upcoming events coming up?
Yeah, we are kicking 2021 off with a bang. The very first race here, the 4th. And, man, I think the last time I counted up all the shows that we have in the month of January, I think it was right around 26, not to be confused with the Un-26 car there of Brent Roy. Still going to have to fire his decal guy. But, Yeah, we got the Tim's Corner Motorsports weekly doubleheader. That's going to be Wednesday night. And, well, you can call it a tripleheader here for Vidane TV because we're going to be covering the Showtime Cup Series as well. NEPS, we're back for the Angry Tree Guy 100. Very excited myself for that come Thursday. Special show Friday night, the New York Sports Show 150. Pretty cool to be working with Dominic to kind of get that series set up. Looks like he's got about 10 to 15 drivers going to be racing at Stafford Speedway, and that's going to be a pretty exciting show. Brought to you by the New York Sports Show. That's very exciting. Sim 500 Vidane Super Speedway Series. We announced finally announced the championship night at Stafford Speedway at the start of the show. We're going to be doing that whole deal June 11th right at the track, and that's going to be the night before the SRX Series has their very first ever race at Stafford Speedway. So very, very excited for that weekend. We're going to be camping out with Vidane TV under the Run a Race Car banner at the track. We're going to be grilling hot dogs, burgers, brats, you name it. Lots and lots of beers. All the beers, every beers, and some Trulies too. We'll bring some Trulies because we know Lacey likes Trulies, and a lot of our fans like Trulies as well. So we'll bring some Trulies too, and lots of Raise energy drinks because we're going to be raising hell all weekend. But then you made mention the TCM Jim Hallahan 333, and then the Mike on a Rock 75 next Monday night, the 11th. And man, the schedule just keeps on going. Tuesday nights are open right now. Briefly, because the RBR Maritime Group, they're going to be signing on Tuesday nights. Sim 500 is going to be signing on Monday nights starting February 8th, and lots of crazy stuff going on here. So just want to give a big shout out everybody that watched at home here tonight, the very first show of 2021. Definitely not going to be the last. Lots of stuff coming up here in the coming weeks and months here at Vidane TV, and really looking forward to June. We finally get a date on the calendar to circle in bright purple as Rent a Race Car is going to be taking the previous Vidane Racing champion, Jarrett Bolliard. He's going to take his championship belt and strap it inside one of those street stocks. And the champion for this year, right now, Wes is leading the points. Hasn't won a race yet. Got to point that out. But he's still leading the points. This year's champion also going to be racing.
Spin.
One more time?
I said sit and spin.
Words of wisdom from the Rowdy One himself. So, gonna be, I'm really looking forward to that, and got to give a huge shout out to the Rent a Race Car guys. I know Gary was watching here tonight and allowing us to use their Facebook page as well. So, lots of really cool stuff coming up here with all of the different leagues that we work with, and be sure to pay attention to the Facebook and the Twitter feeds. I'm starting to kind of almost get the hang of Twitter. So that's starting to work out pretty well. Really, I say that, and all I do is just retweet from the NEPS guys, the NEPS Sportsbook, and a lot of Dylan stuff too. So pretty cool deal. And also want to give Lenny a quick shout out as well for PRN. Did the interview with Corey Casagrande last week. We're all linked up on the Facebook page. You can have that, give that a listen, and kind of get a listen in on some of Corey Casagrande's real life racing plans. The Casagrande schedule just getting released has about 15 to 20 races on there, so pretty cool to see that as well. But I think that's going to wrap it up here for tonight. We're going to take a quick night off tomorrow night, and then the double triple on Wednesday night between Tim's Corner Motorsports and Showtime Cup Series. Until then, we'll catch you on the flip side, and make sure that flip side's pointed the right direction. We'll catch you at the track.